Hello everyone, I am Bashar, come back again with a new episode. Welcome to my channel Techquest Learning Point. Today I am going to start third episode on the new topic operator in C#, and it's the third episode of this series of tutorial programming C# for beginners. First of all, already I told in my previous episode that it's a complete C# programming course where many episodes will be discussed one by one with lab in Visual Studio 2022 environment. In this episode, I will discuss on what is operators, arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators, bitwise operators, assignment operators, and unary and ternary operators. As well as I will show with example how the operator works with operand in C# program in Visual Studio 2022. Okay, let's start. What is operator? In C#, operators are special symbols that perform operations on values and variables. They act as instructions for the compiler, telling it how to manipulate data and control program flow. Here are some common types of operators in C#. Arithmetic operators, assignment operators, comparison operators, logical operators, increment and decrement operators, conditional operators, bitwise operators. Let's discuss each operators in briefly. Arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators are used to perform basic mathematical calculations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulo or remainder after division. Later I will show how it works in Visual Basic 2022 lab class. Relational operators. Relational operators are basically comparison operator. It's compare values and return a boolean result, true or false. First equal to, double equal sign is used, equal to operator. It's compare the two value equal or not equal to. Not equal to is used to compare the two value which is equal to or not equal. If the value is not equal to, then it return true. Less than. If the value is less than, return true. Logical operators. Usually three types of logical operators are used in C# programming. Double ampersand symbol is called the logical AND operator. Double vertical bar is used as a logical OR operator. Exclamation mark is used as a logical NOT operator. Later I will show how to work with operand in Visual Studio 2022 environment. Increment and decrement operators. In C#, two types of increment and decrement operators. Plus sign is used for increment operators and minus sign is used decrement. Basically it increase or decrease a variable's value by 1. Bitwise operators. Bitwise operators perform operations on individual bits of integral types. In bitwise operators, single ampersand use bitwise and single vertical bar used as bitwise or caret symbol is used bitwise XOR. Tilde sign is for bitwise not. Double less than is used for left shift. Double greater than for right shift. Assignment operators. Simple assignment. Simple assignment is used by the equal sign. It can assign a value to a variable. Add and assign. Add and assign symbol is plus and equal sign. This operator is used to add the value and then assign to a variable. That's mean first add a value and then assign to a variable. Subtract and assign. Symbol minus sign and equal sign. First subtract the value and then assign to a variable. Multiply and assign. Symbols asterisk sign and equal sign. First multiply the value and then assign to a variable. Divide and assign. Sign slash and equal. First divide the value and then result is assigned to a variable. Modulo and assign. Sign percentage sign and equal sign. Now I want to demonstrate the operators with some examples. Let's verify how to calculate numbers by arithmetic operators. Here I will show addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and modulus. Let's start Visual Studio 2022. First I will show addition. Let's declare two variables. Data type is integer. Here num1 is for a number and num2 is for another number. These numbers are used to calculate by using the operators. Result is for store the result. Here console.readline return the string value, but num is integer. That's why we have to convert the value returned from the console.readline. Convert.toInt32 function works to convert the value returned into an integer. Here value in the variable num1 is added with the value in num2 and result is stored in the result variable. Let's run the program to show the output. Enter the value for num1. Let's enter the value 45. Enter the value for num2. Let's enter bitwise. Press enter. Addition should be 100. Sum of num1 and num2 is 100. It's a very simple and small code snippet for subtraction. Here is enter the value num1 for num2, num1 and num2. Here subtract. Let's run the program.
enter the value 300, enter the value for num2 120, it should be 180. Subtraction of num1 and num2 180, that is correct. This is the main line here. In this line the result is printed on the screen. Okay, let's run again. Enter the value 500, enter value 200, result is 300. Let's run again. Enter the value 450, 30, 141. Multiplication. For multiplication, equation will be result equal to num1 asterisk sign num2. Here asterisk sign will be used for multiplication. Result is printed here. Subtraction, multiplication of num1 and num2. Let's run the program. Enter value of num1 25, enter value for num2 8, it should be 200. Multiplication of num1 and num2 is 200, that's correct. Division. Result num1 slash num2. This is the equation for division. Value of num1 is divided by the value of num2. And the result will be stored in the result variable. The result may not be an integer. That's why we have to change the data type of the result variable. It's double. And here is the double, because explicit cast to double for floating point result. Division. This is the main line. Value in the num1 is divided by the num2, and the quotient is stored in the result variable. Here is the result. Explicit cast to double for floating point result. Let's run. Enter value for num1 25, enter value for num2, enter 4. Quotient of num1 and num2 is 6.25. In order to calculate the modulus of any two numbers, we can write the equation like way. Result num1 percentage num2. Percentage sign is used to calculate the remainder of two numbers. Remainder of this is the equation. This line show the output or result on the screen. Value 1 25, second number, let's say 4, remainder should be 1, remainder is 1, that is correct. Let's run again. 43, 53, 7, it should be 4. Remainder of 4. Now I want to show the relational operator. Relational operators. First, equal sign. Equal. Let's declare a variable result to show the result. Data type will be boolean. Equal operator of two variable is equal or not. If the value is equal, then it returns true, either false. Result num1 if the value of number 1 is equal to the num2, it returns true, that is true value is stored in the result. Okay, let's run the program. There was a build error. Would you like to continue to run? Last successful build? No. This line problem is comments. Let's run. Enter the value for num1 variable. Let's 125. Enter the value for num2. It's 125. That is num1 value in the num1 and the value in the num2 is equal. Thus it should be returned true. Press enter. The result is true. Let's run again. Enter the value for 25 and value is 20. Is not equal to, this is not equal to, it should be false. False. That is correct. That's mean equal operator compare the value of two operand. Here is a num1 and num2 is the two operand, and the value contained in num1 and num2 is compared. If the equal, then return true. If it is not equal, then return false. Let's next. Not equal. Now I want to show the not equal, exclamation sign and equal sign. The combination of exclamation sign and equal sign. Just opposite. This character is just opposite of equal operator. Let's run the program. "25" value is for num1 and 24 is value for num2. Here the num1 is not equal to num2. It should be returned true. True. That is correct. If the value in num2 is not equal to value of the num1, then it returned the result. Or if the two values are not equal to, then it is true. Or if the two value is equal, it's false. Let's run again. Now I want to enter the equal value, 100 and 100, but equal value. It should be false. False. That's correct. If the value in num2 is greater than num1, then it returned the true. Otherwise it returned false. Let's run the program. Value for num1 400, value for num2 200. That is, num1 is greater than num2. So num1 num2. This is the greater than operator. This operator compare the value of operand num1 and num2. It is greater than. If the num1 is greater than num2, then it return true. Otherwise it return false. Num1 is 100, num2 is 99. 1 is greater than num2. It should be true. True. That is correct. Let's run again. 200, 260. Num1 is less, not greater than num2. That is, num1 is less than num2. Similarly, we can show greater than equal to. If the num1 is greater than or equal to num2, equal to. Let's run. 300, 300 equal to, it's return true. Now I want to show the logical operators. Logical this is the equation or line. by which we can verify the AND operator. We can show how it works. Logical AND operator. Let's consider its statement 1 and the statement 2. We know that logical AND operator follow the truth table. If the statement 1 is true and the statement 2 is true, then it returns the true. If the statement 1 is true and statement 2 is false, then it returns false. Let's say num1 is 10 and num2 is also 10. This statement will be true, but this statement will be false. That means the whole statement return the false. Let's declare another variable num3 and enter. In order to enter the value, write another for 3 here use the num3. Let's consider num1 is 10, num2 is 10, num3 11. Num1 and num2 is equal, that is this statement return true. Num3 is 11, num2 is 10. This statement also return true. This is true, this is true. The combination of two true return the true result. Let's check the result by running this program. 10 for num1, 10 for num2, 11 for num3. Result should be true. Result is true, that is correct. If the number 1 is 15, what will be? Num1 is 15, num2 is 10, that is not equal to. It returns the false. Num3 is 11, num2 is 10, that's it's written true. This is true, this is false. The combination of these return the false. Let's check, run the program. Num1 15, num2 is 10, num3 is 11. False. I hope it's clear for the AND operation. Now I want to check the AND OR operator. In case of OR operator, if the any statement is true, then it returns true. If first statement is true and the second statement is false, it returns true. If the first statement is false and the second statement is false, then it returns false. If the first statement is true and second statement is true, then it returns true. Let's consider this 15 and 20. This is not equal to, it's false. This is false and this is true. Then it returns the true. Let's check. Num1 is 15, num2 10, num3 11. True. That means first statement is false. Num1 is 15, num2 is 10. That's mean it's false. Num3 is 11, num2 is 10. That is true. True and false combination return the true. That's true. That's correct. Conditional operator. Conditional operator. This is the main line for this operator, that is conditional operator. In conditional operator, syntax is here verify a condition. If the condition is true, then return this part, or if the condition is false, it return this part. Here num1, if the num1 is equal to num2, then the value of num3 will be stored in the result. Otherwise, the value of num1 is stored in the result. Let's consider this number. Let's num1 is 15 and num2 is 10. That means this statement is false. Then num1 value is returned, stored in the result. Num1 is here 15. Then value of result will be 15. Let's check. Num1 is 15, num2 10, num3 11, 15. That is correct. If we change it's greater than, then num1 is 15, num2 is 10. That is, this statement is true. So num3 value will be stored in the result. Num1 is 15, num2 is 10, num3 is 11. That means value of num1 will be printed result 11. Num1 is 15, num2 is 10. 15 is greater than 10, that is true. That's why num3, this part return the value. Num3 is 11. 11 is stored in the result. It's result.